Digital Extreme have officially released their, let's call it, spoiler courtesy, but really it's how to prepare list for the old piece coming on the 10th of December. Now, courtesy is just a case of when posting things in the forums, if it has spoilers in it, please use the spoiler tag. They haven't put a time frame on this. I usually say about a month at least. Then, at least on Discord, it's a case of most spoilers by that point will be absolutely everywhere, so avoid the main ones, but I'm not going to criticise people who turn it, or be mean to people who have turned around and mentioned little things that happen within the quest. The big spoilers, just try not to mention them, like certain things from the Whispers in the Walls still isn't talked about. Jade Shadows. Jade Shadows has a huge one in that lots of people to this day still don't really talk about because it's better to let people experience those themselves than make videos that absolutely ruin it for them. Constantly. Yes, I have seen these, and Jade Quest was a quest. It obviously did the quest video. It had spoilers and everything in it. It can't really be helped, but they're just asking people to do that. But their official way to prepare for it are equip your favourite focus school. The last knowledge from the Tauron? Seriously. Is it Ron? That's how people keep telling me I need to do it. Will serve you well. Well, this is basically because once you start the quest, whichever focus tree you choose is the one that you will be using throughout the quest, which of course determines which one of the Tauron strikes you will actually be able to use throughout the story of it. Now, this would be really nice if we knew which one of these was for which school. Well, we kind of do. We can say that the Grimoire, the Lorac, it's literally written on the screen, I'm reading it from another list at the same time, that's Zanuric. The Veroric, Naramon. The Thara, the bow, is Madurai. You can tell because the symbol's kind of in the bow. The hammer, the Kogan, is Yunari, which leaves the staff that I tried to figure out what this was. They may have mentioned it, to be fair. I didn't really have it written down just what they were. Well, that's Vazarian. So the best way that I can put this is during the next less than a week, form for whichever school you have the least amount of standing in, because the expansion to the focus tree is going to use normal standing, but unlocking these weapons will be using items obtained through, I think it was Descendia or the other game mode I have completely and utterly forgotten the name of at this moment in time. Oh no, that's actually really bugging me. Recall Hunhullus, I think it was. Either of those game modes will have an item that will allow you to unlock these within the skill tree, because they are still going to be a node inside of the focus school tree, so still would level up the one you have the least in, and for those who've been playing for years who have way too much and everything, yeah, good luck, because we don't know how many millions of standing this expansion is going to actually use up, but just make sure whichever one you want is the school you use. Again, it's kind of Zanuric for the Grimoire, Naramon for the sword, Madurai for the bow. Huh. This was unintentional. Honoriu for the... I'm butchering the name of it. The hammer, and Vazarian for the staff. Yeah, this was actually in order because the Grimoire starts there and goes round. I would assume whoever made the list started with that focus school and made their way round. I think I want to go for the bow. But for video reasons. Visuals, the sword will probably... No, I want the bow. Which one was the bow? I'm going to level that up for now and then move over and use that one. Customize your operator. Again, this is simply down to the fact that when you go to do anything within this operator you have equipped is who you will be playing as in your dream. The old piece is taking place in the past. So you're basically having a vision of something that happened a long time ago. So you will be playing as the operator quite a few times. So get your operator ready to a point where you actually like looking at them, because this is going to be your main character throughout the quest. Bring your best gear. Just best way to put this, set up your amp, because if you're using an operator, and it does specify operator, not drifter, you bring your best amp, equip your best amp, install a lens on it if you want to, because that will obviously get more focus. But I think what they're kind of really referring to here is, oh, I'm all the way up here, aren't I? Equip your best weaponry as well, just in case. I don't know if you're actually going to be using your Warframe from now in the dream sequence you're about to have. Hence, I think the amp is going to be more important than actually what Warframe and weaponry you have equipped. I would 100% say that one, because it's a dream sequence and they've already shown off that we're using primes from the time instead of now. I'm hoping, considering Gaia Prime comes with this, there is a Gaia Prime option to play as throughout this quest. We know nothing about this quest at the moment, we're just taking guesses. One other thing they don't really mention in there, because they only listed 3 things, that's going to be a weird splice right there, is the quest you need to have completed to get there is the Lotus Eater's quest. Now, this, in a weird way, unlocks the Hex quest, because this predates the Hex quest, so you don't need to have completed the Hex quest to get there, or the Angels of the Zaramon, or the Daviri Paradox, or Jade Shadows. It's Lotus Eaters. So Whispers in the Walls, New War, Prologue to War, The Sacrifice, the Prologue, Chain of Harrows. I don't think you need the Rising Tide though, but you do need the New War, and obviously going back through these, they're pretty much in order. Not are included. And Arkwing, Heart of Deimos. I don't know why that's really a thing that needs to be needed for this. It's kind of a side quest for Deimos itself, but apparently that is also needed. As long as you have completed the Lotus Eater's quest, this will be available. Or at least the quest part of it will, which you need to do to be able to get a hold of the new frame, the new weapon, the 2 new game modes, and everything else that's going to be locked behind the old Peace quest. Is all you must complete the Lotus Eaters first, which isn't really a quest, it's more of a prologue, a cinematic quest than anything else. But it kind of does, because where it says get ready, it says log in to basically look at the main story quest line and make sure you're prepared for the old Peace. Which, I cannot stress this one enough. I'm insanely looking forward to that. Apparently the bottom floor 20 of that, is going to be a ton of fun. Damn shame Uriella's behind that, but I really am looking forward to that. And obviously all of the other stuff that is coming within this, like the new frame, the Devil's Triad that was within it, but mainly the quest and Ascendia. And Gaia Prime, because she's missing from this entire hype page, for the record. Oh, it goes without saying, and the giant primed Eidolon that we will be fighting several times after this update actually comes out. But either way, this is going to be a huge update, and it isn't really that hard to get ready for it. Make sure you have made your way to the Lotus Eater's quest, and this will be available upon launch. Make sure your focus school is chosen before it starts, before you start the quest. And I really can't stress this one enough. When it says make sure your equipment is ready, I'm going to say amp, because you're using your operator and all the other weapons. it's a dream sequence. I don't think we're going to have our weaponry there, but also don't forget to set up all the weapons before you start this quest, just in case it does. All weapons in your arsenal. Get ready, because this is going to be fun. So with that, we'll leave this off here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.